and pick up an OD. So, you know, OD is a very powerful hero. If you've been playing against it, you know that once it gets a couple of intelligence still stacks up and running, it starts doing a lot of fucking damage. And the intelligence difference with the ultimate is pretty insane. So, you know, strong hero, top 3 mid heroes right now, and they have already banned Invoker themselves, so makes sense to pick that up. TongFu will respond with a Faceless Void Witch Doctor pickup. So Witch Doctor is, you know, one of the stronger laning supports, has some healing potential, has the to be feared Death Ward that a lot of players do not like, and with reason, because a lot of times the Death Ward is actually what makes the team fight winnable. And Faceless Void is a more popular recently offlane pick. It's pretty strong with the Time Walk, having low cooldown once it's leveled up. You know, regenerating your health from the damage you've taken the last few seconds. Very strong spell, so it's very hard to kill him in the offlane. Buying Dagons will then continue with Vengeful Spirit pickup. Probably the most picked support overall in the current patch. It's very often picked, it's very strong, it has a lot of uses, and so nothing more to say about that, honestly. They will ban mid heroes mainly from buying Dagons, Death Prophet, one of the top 3 as well, and TA. I guess TA is because OD Vengeful does not really any burn damage so far, so TA could be a hero that could be picked. TongFu will ban Bounty Hunter and Abaddon. So Abaddon, I guess, mostly is because maybe mostly just because of Night Stalker, to be honest. Because Night Stalker is, you know, silence. You don't know, if you pick something with a silence like that, you kind of don't want the other team to have purge spells. Bounty Hunter, well, if they have a good Bounty Hunter player, or if they would pick Bounty Hunter, it's a very struggling hero to play against, because you have to win fights very well, or you have to not fight at all, because if it's an even fight, the Bounty Hunter team will always get more out of it. So, you know, annoying hero to deal with at times. Looks like Dagons is not so rushed with the third pick. They will pick up the Beastmaster, one of the more well, on and off lane heroes that can be picked. It has some decent uses, especially the Primal Roar that goes through BKB, so the stun is very powerful. And Beastmaster himself, there's not really many different ways of building him, just normally just buildings for push, to take racks, to take towers and stuff like that early. TongFu will pick up a Zeus as well. They have quite a lot of magic damage so far, Witch Doctor and Faceless Void being the physical damage dealers, with the Death Ward being physical, and obviously everything with Faceless Void is physical. And now they have two very heavy magic damage users early on, which is Night Stalker and Zeus. Both teams definitely having a lot of early game aggression by the looks of it. Buying Dagons now picking up an Earth Spirit. So that's the second support, a very beefy support. Pretty tanky, has a lot of stuns, has silence. The silence mainly is a reason why I think it's very good against Zeus. It does a lot of squishy heroes. Zeus, Witch Doctor, Faceless Void. None of them really have an amazing health pool in the earlier stages of the game. So the Magnetize ultimate can do quite a lot of work.
Radiant team ban.
And let's see, TongFu will now ban Ember Spirit. Well, I guess Faceless Void, well, I don't really know what I would guess. Ember Spirit doesn't seem that strong here. It blocks Zeus's damage to an extent with the Flame God, but Night Stalker is a very heavy counter to Ember Spirit in terms of the early game silence. They will, however, ban it and pick up a Gyrocopter as their last hero, so they have quite a lot of team fight. Faceless Void Gyrocopter does have a little bit of synergy with the Chrono into having a Witch Doctor using Death Ward Gyrocopter call down Zeus ultimate. So they have quite a lot of teamfight potential if they get a good Chrono setup. Whereas Spine Dagons also has some teamfight, but Vengeful Spirit and Beastmaster is more, you know, initiating heroes onto one hero, whereas OD and Earth Spirit brings the teamfight. And they will finish up the lineup with Juggernaut. Very logical pick since Zeus is purely magical. Nightstalk in the early stages is pretty much just magical, and Gyrocopter also early on is very heavily focused on his magical damage. So Juggernaut having the spin available to block quite a lot of the different spells. And overall also being a very strong carry. So, you know, makes very much sense picking that hero up. And it can both go late, it can go for a more aggressive build. There's a lot of different ways to build Juggernaut, so I like that. I like that a lot. If I have to take a scope overall on TongFu's lineup, they have Gyro, Faces, and Nightstalker, who's kinda low mana heroes, meaning that OD is gonna do very much damage to them. So we're gonna see if he's gonna have a lot of impact. OD is one of those heroes that once he goes out of control, he's just going mental. We actually have a fireman movement from TongFu and from Dagon going towards the top rune, so we are perhaps gonna see a clash. The Hawk being used to spot out the movement of TongFu, they see them there. There's being a sentry will placed down to block some offlane farming from this Beastmaster potentially. And the smoke happens from Dagon, so they will smoke around. TongFu should kind of know this is happening. The Hawk was going, like the Hawk moved from here and up there, so he should know that there's that there are someone moving there, and they're actually gonna come from the back. They will now initiate. The slow starts happening. The roll comes up, hits Nightstalker. Nightstalker's in trouble, gets stunned up, spin starts being used, and the double ball is gonna do quite a lot, and they will actually kill him. Outworld Devour picking up the Bounded Rune, Faceless Void picking up his own Bounded Rune in the bottom lane. So the mid laner of TongFu will not get a rune in the early stage. And also a first blood claimed by Outworld Devourer. So a pretty good start for him in this mid lane position. I actually love that effect. That doing. Trolls is real. In the top lane we have already some action happening. Beastmaster going pretty aggressive on this Witch Doctor, doing a lot of right click damage, and Witch Doctor will actually die, even though Earth Spirit's roll went right past him. Doesn't really respect the 67 right click damage of Beastmaster by the looks, and he will die. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we have Faceless Void and Nightstalker laning against Juggernaut Vengeful Spirit. So both teams having some dual lane setup. I'm not sure which I would prefer. It seems like the offlane from TongFu is not really that powerful, since Juggernaut doesn't really fear this Faceless Void. Whereas the offlane from Dagon seems more scary with having a Beastmaster and an Earth Spirit to help him. This is definitely looking like the place that's gonna have the most action. We have Earth Spirit roaming towards the middle lane, Nightstalker seeing him. So both supportive heroes trying to do something for their mid laners. But you know, mostly just the presence is gonna do something, I suppose. DCDD, man. Using the void, trying to be annoying, but that's about it. Zeus might be in trouble if he gets jumped on here, but Earth Spirit is just gonna do a casual run by and make his way to the bottom rune. That's actually the boundary rune here as well, so he could potentially pick that up. Tries for a roll into the middle lane, but that's not gonna happen. Zeus goes with the trolling taunt, saying that come on, bro, you can do better than that. Looks like Beastmaster's on a mission to grab the creeps that rightfully belong to him. We'll lose his trusty boa though. Rest in peace. Bottom lane, we have 3 people trying to go aggressive on this Faceless Void. Stuns gets used, but jeez, like I said, the time walk, once he gets it off, it's just like, oh my god, he's regening all his health. Almost impossible to kill this here in the offlane position. They just kind of have to deal with that and, you know, try and maybe limit his farm and gank the other lanes. And I doubt it's gonna be much use if they keep trying for this kill on the bottom lane, since he's already level 4. So the time walk is gonna get some decent levels, and the cooldown is therefore reduced, making it very troublesome. Mid lane, the last hits are pretty equal between OD and Zeus, only one last difference. Gyrocopter and Juggernaut also very close. The only real difference is that TongFu has a support with quite a lot of last hits, and Faceless Void has more last hits than Beastmaster, so overall, a little bit ahead in terms of last hits. However, Dagon is the team with the kills, so Dagon having the small lead. Okay, there's actually gonna be some blocking happening in this Beastmaster. He's in quite a lot of trouble. Earthbreak tries to help him with a stun, but being blocked in this position means that he is in a world of hurt. Nighttime ticking in, so Night Stalker also doing some extra damage. And in the end it will be a kill, getting a little hawk as a bonus prize. And it's kind of going back to being a little bit more quiet. As I was saying before, the last hitting is very even between the two teams. So the only thing happening is where the kills are going to be at. We have Night Stalker being in a pretty aggressive position, but if he isn't careful, Earth Spirit is going to catch him off, and that could be horrible for him. But he's definitely trying to get a lot done this nighttime, which is understandable. Nighttime is the time to fight, the time to go. Rest in peace, man. Zeus is just, you know, using his lightning bolt, and then realizes that OD is actually low enough HP to get killed. Also vengeful, dropping very low for that ultimate from Zeus. And as I've said before, man, Zeus, that emote, that taunt, man, is actually lovely. I love it, man. Earthspirit going for sneaky rune take. Faceless Void in the bottom lane using Chronosphere, trying to kill this Juggernaut. Juggernaut is not level 6, he can't use his Omni. Drops very low, tries to use his healing ward and run away. Salve is being popped and he will survive. So the Chrono is kind of not going to do that much, but it's interesting to see how he's actually having pretty much even last hits with Juggernaut and forcing him to go away. Now they're just trading hits. Healing ward means that Juggernaut is gonna not die. Whatever. This Zeus is definitely having a lot of fun in the mid lane. having his arcane boots and his sobering, meaning he has not even bothered with a bottle. He has enough to just, you know, spam spells all day long, keep this OD far back, and it's working out, man. This OD is very scared. And the taunt is continuously happening. This one picked up by Vengeful though. Roll comes in from Earth Spirit, and this time Zeus is gonna get killed. Wrong time to use taunt, my friend.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like there's, yep, a smoke happening. Nice Dog Witch Dog is smoking up. I'm not sure the pinging, I guess it's because there's a ward there or something like that. Waiting for the rune time to hit, and I guess they're waiting for Vengeful to go and pick up the rune. Vengeful comes finally, but they were not patient enough, and Vengeful's gonna spot the smoke and just walk away. If they waited for like maybe 3 more seconds, they would have gotten the Vengeful for sure. But sadly won't happen. Also, the nighttime just ending at that time, meaning that Night Stalker is now losing quite a lot of power. Bottom lane, we actually have, you know, Faces and Night Stalker trying to get aggressive on this Juggernaut, but it's very hard to do anything. I mean, they do have the Chrono up and available again, but it's just whether or not they can kill him in that duration, really. Especially having the Vengeful Spirit backing him up with the stun.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's quite interesting to see how OD is still managing to keep up on top in terms of net worth, even though he got killed earlier, and he's not really had the best lane.
Top tower is under attack.
Not had bad last hits, but he actually has more last hits than Zeus, so never mind that, man. Doing a good job, even though he's been pushed back time after time by the Zeus. Also killed. He's actually a level ahead. So doing a decent job now. Zeus picking up a lovely stack, getting a little bit more XP, but OD is still ahead. So not enough, man. Not enough.
Haste.
See, overall on the items, I mean, Beastmaster has his base items, I would call it. We actually have some action in the middle lane. OD trying to go on this Night Stalker. Night Stalker dying. Gyrocopter rotating and using cooldown, but OD is doing so much damage with this right click Death Ward getting used after the curse comes up. OD tries to block himself into this Astral Imprisonment, but he might die still. The last curse is probably gonna kill him, but no, he survives with 200 HP. A flag cannon is the thing that finishes him off. Juggernaut also dying in the bottom lane. Beastmaster coming in to kill the Gyrocopter, but after killing him, he will die himself. So 4 down on the side of Dagon and 2 on the side of TongFu. 1500 gold going towards TongFu. Gyrocopter early having his Helm of the Dominator finished up, so also pretty much just his base. Zeus having Arcanes, he has his Sovereign, he just gets another item now, which is, yep, a completed Aether Lens. So he's at the peak of his power in the early game right now. And he can kind of decide what to go for next, because this is, you know, just the base. Nothing too special. Void trying to go for some mixed stuff. Seemingly he's trying to get the casual Vlads that a lot of offlane Voids tend to like. Night Stalker being the poor guy he is. But that's life, man. That's life. Drum of Endurance is actually going to be the pickup from is Outworld Devourer, adding to the teamfight power in the earlier stages of the game. Obviously it's decent for him since it gives him stats and right click potential, but it's also good for the Juggernaut, who's also gonna have value from the drum aura and the use of the drums.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, Chrono gets used in the bottom and swap on from the Vengeful, keeping the Juggernaut a little bit more safe. Cooldown gets committed, OD coming from the side, Juggernaut finally dies. OD's too slow to actually do anything to the Gyrocopter. Beastmaster rotates in and kills the Faceless Void together with OD. Nice Dog are very low. Vengeful also dying. To the Witch Doctor no less. And it seems like everything is just gonna go back to normal after this. So one kill for Dagon and 2 kills for TongFu. The favorable trade obviously going to TongFu. Jesus Christ, that hit, man. Having double damage, having 25 stolen intelligence stacks, that does a lot of damage, man. Taking away pretty much 1/5 of Zeus's health. OD, man. Powerful hero, man. To be feared. Now Vlad's being finished on the Faceless Void, so you know, some good early game items they have finished up. Gyrocopter seemingly having Bracer must be going for drums for their team.
Radiant's top
And
tower is under attack.
I'm close to saying that I think Nightstalker is going for his Hand of Midas, trying to get some farm potential up and running, being in the support position that he is. We can see the early lead from Dagons has turned into TongFu leading with how the kills have been happening. She's now slightly ahead of Outworld Devourer in terms of farm. Gyrocopter and Faceless Void both pretty much 1000 ahead of the opponent Beastmaster and Juggernaut. Beastmaster actually managing to have more farm than his position 1 carry
Radiant's
Juggernaut.
middle tower is under attack.
So Juggernaut is not really having the best time of his life right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Interesting. Okay, we have a smoked up Nightstalk going in this bottom lane. Faceless Void TPing in. Zeus ult gets committed, and Zeus coming from the side with Witch Doctor killing off the Vengeful Spirit. A good stun from Earthbird stunning 3, and Juggernaut's trying to TP out. Chrono gets used, and Juggernaut will be killed. So rotation leading into 2 kills towards TongFu once again. TongFu claiming some good fighting. Now they're gonna turn these 2 kills into a push. Earthspirit and Beastmaster being in the lane close by. Beastmaster actually getting caught off by this Nightstalker, gets stunned, and it seems like Beastmaster's gonna be alright and jolly fine. But the tower must be falling by a few seconds because or not? They don't want it anyways, man. I'm pretty sure they would have been able to push it, but maybe they just decided that it's not worth going too far in right now, since they could just TP in, OD and Juggernaut both being ready to go, Vengeful being back alive with Juggernaut and stuff like that. So they take it more safe and just go back, take the small fight they just won, and go back to farming. Nice Stalker having the completed Hand of Midas, adding to his own farm. 2k gold on Zeus, meaning that he could either be looking for, I guess he's gonna be looking for something like a Blink Dagger to add to his mobility. Doing. The net worth lead is kind of getting pretty substantial. It's above 5,000 net worth towards TongFu. I'm not sure what items are they claiming on the side of Dagon. Dragonland's being picked up by Outworld Devourer, so he has a bit longer range to play around with. Juggernaut still trying to get his first real item. Seemingly it's gonna be a Yasha. Vengeful Spirit not really having anything special. Earth Spirit Urn. And the Necro 1 on Beastmaster being completed. Faceless Void goes for the Blink Dagger build on this Void, which is also very normal on the offlane Void, since this Time Walk doesn't go that far. It's been recently buffed a little bit because it was awful when the initial changes came, but some offlane Voids still value the Blink Dagger for the quick initiation power. Now looking towards a middle lane push. Tower dropping pretty low, OD being ready and trying to hit some gamings. Looks like nothing real is gonna happen, and TongFu doesn't want to overcommit for this middle lane push. In the bottom lane, the tower's actually been taken towards Dagon, and the creep wave is pushed quite far towards the tier 2. So just gonna, you know, push out the waves and make ready for taking the first set of towers. Top lane tower is also gone, so it's pretty equal to the towers. Gyrocup now TPing mid. Nice Dogger using his ultimate, so we're gonna see the Davai gaming in a very shortly. The last member of the team coming in with a TP, Faceless Void, ready to go. He has his Chrono ready, they have ultimates ready, so we might see this D-Bass combo that they have with the Chrono landing some good spells. A good stun from Earth Spirit from up on the ramp. Cliff just standing there ready. Beastmaster using his trusty axes to cut down the trees, gets slowed and silenced up, pops his Necro creeps. A stun on Night Stalker. Night Stalker is getting stunned again by Beastmaster. Decent Chrono catching off 3. Called on being used as well, and it seems like TongFu is gonna have to give up this time. But ultimate gets used. Juggernaut and Beastmaster very low. Vengeful Spirit also dropping low. Earth Spirit using his ultimate. Witch Doctor and Zeus dying to the OD. Looks like Vengeful might be in trouble. Vengeful dies. Night Stalker dies. The right click from OD is doing so much damage. He's barely surviving, and looks like the last member of TongFu is also gonna die. Pretty much everyone on Dagon being at around 30% HP. But in the end it's gonna be a team wide, and all it cost them was a support hero, Vengeful Spirit. 4,000 net worth change, man. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. In case you don't know, that is a lot. Big numbers, man, big numbers. You kinda saw it, man. The OD just doing so much damage. I mean, he is a bullet train going full choo-choo, man. Having now 3,000 gold banked up. The Juggernaut did come in from the side, but honestly, other than using his Omnis Light, he wasn't really doing a big part of that fight. It's just OD going crazy. But that's the nature of the hero, man. Earth Spirit also landing some good stuns, using a good ultimate that obviously does do a lot of damage. Now picking up a 4-star with the newly gotten Fortune. Beastmaster level 2 Necro. OD now picking up the Blink Dagger, so he wants some more mobility, some more initiation. Juggernaut finally finishing his Yasha and can very soon have a Sanj to go with it. On the side of TongFu, we don't really have any special being made. Witch Doctor could buy his Aether Lens if he dismantles his Arcane Boots. That might not be happening though. Zeus having a completed Bloodstone now being used. And in the top lane, we actually have a little bit of a push happening after killing Witch Doctor, who kinda got caught off with the Blink Initiation from OD and the ultimate from Beastmaster. Now the top tower gets taken. And you know, some casual value here and there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom tower is also taking quite a lot of damage, and it looks like it's gonna drop unless he gets to deny it. He actually hits a creep rather than deny the tower. A little bit of a misplay, but rest in peace. May his soul be forgiven for not denying that tower.
Is under attack.
A BKB already being picked up by Gyrocopter, going for BKB as his first item. He's already tired of the magic damage lineup that Dagons seemingly has. Understandable. It's pretty powerful. Now a smoke being bought by Nightstalker, so in a few seconds when he gets it delivered, we should see some smoke action happening. Seems like a lot of time waste just sitting there, but oh well. Whatever they want. Zeus is obviously ready in the jungle with his ultimate to be used when needed. Bottom lane we have some initiation going. Vengeful being the target, 3-man going at him, and he's gonna get killed. They still haven't used the smoke, so they could smoke afterwards. Top around middle lane. Witch Doctor getting caught off with the Earth Spirit, using a lot of stones to try and kill him, but the kill will be had. Chrono onto both Earth Spirit and Juggernaut. Earth Spirit drops down. Juggernaut will also die a lot of damage, and that Chrono duration being used from both Zeus and Nightstalker, and obviously Juggernaut himself. And 3 down from Dagon now. Looks like TongFu is gonna see this as a go-to signal towards heading their way towards Roche. They have the Vladimir on Faceless Void. I'm not sure if they have any other decent item. They don't have a medallion, they don't have anything fancy like that. So they're gonna have to do with the Vladimir and use that for enough damage to do this Roche. But that means that Dagon has time to push a tower and possibly respond to this. They're sending a Hawk for some vision, and even though Roche is pretty low, they should now know that Roche is being taken. But it looks like they don't want to deal with it. Roche is dropping very low, they're coming in from the top, but Roche gets claimed, Jericho taking it, and now they just back off, take the tower and run away. A little bit too late to interfere with the Roche, but they will still claim the tower, so the small value is still value. Zeus, having the Bloodstone from earlier, has now 2 more charges to add to it after that fight as well. So we need to be you need to be careful against heroes with Bloodstone, because you don't really want them to have too many charges of it, because that just makes them painful to deal with, because even if you kill them, they just end up respawning after 30 seconds, which is annoying, very annoying to say the least. 3,000 gold banked up on Void. Nightstalker slowly making his progress towards an Aghanim Scriptor. Jug finishing his Manta style looks to be the item, so it wasn't gonna be a Sanction Yasha after all. Earth Spirit, well, buying a few items, nothing crazy coming out from him. Necro 3 completed on Beastmaster, 1400 gold banked up. Most likely gonna be looking towards his Blink Dagger afterwards. OD trying to make, I suppose it's his time to shine with a Blink Dagger, because that's very good against Zeus. Ultimate gets used, Chrono gets used. Zeus using his ultimate. Earthspirit actually trying to walk around and juke around using the stun, but this is sadly not gonna work. He's still gonna die. Currently the net worth, I mean, it was a very heavy lead for TongFu, but you know, Dagon fighting a little bit back, and now the lead is not so big anymore. It's still late, but it's only on 2.5k gold, so going a little bit back and forward. Which is how we like it, right? 5-man smoke from Dagon. They're looking to get aggressive. They're tired of this TongFu lineup using the chrono
Radiant's
timing to
bottom
just
tower
get
is
easy
under
kills
attack.
all over the map. Now they're gonna go deep. Beastmaster's minions already spotting out the terrain. And it looks like but TongFu is kinda gathered around the bottom lane. So the smoke is gonna be dropping fairly low. They're coming, they're gonna see each other just at the edge of it. Night Stalker being the first one they're gonna see, which is not really what they want. Spotting him out now, using the stun on him. Juggernaut goes in using Omni Slash, but it doesn't. It bounces enough on him. A stun gets used on Gyrocopter from Beastmaster, and Beastmaster will assist in popping the Aegis from Gyrocopter. A lot of cask bouncing going on to stun both Juggernaut and Earthspirit. BKB gets used a very good chrono, and the Witch Doctor ultimate from a long range. This is spelling trouble for Dagon, having 3 people down, the 4th to fall soon, Beastmaster. The last one standing is OD. They managed to kill both Night Stalker and Void, and now killing off the Zeus. The OD just doing so much damage. He has his blink ready, so they could potentially chase the Witch Doctor. They know where he's at. They know he's there. Just gonna ask for imprisonment him, and this is spelling like a dead person. Using the stun and then just like 2-shotting him with because of all the intelligence too. So in the end, Dagon actually getting the valuable trade, also popping the Aegis. A dragged out fight, and it kind of looked like trouble when the chrono hit on 3 people using a good death ward to assist with it straight away. But OD just does so much damage, so if he's not killed as one of the first heroes, he can single-handedly just do too much.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Having now bought out BKB and 2000 gold to assist that, so quite a lot, man. We can't forget that Zeus actually died that fight, so he had 10 charges earlier, getting a few more charges and then dying, so now he's down to 9, which is pretty much, you know, the standard Bloodstone. Gyrocopter on top of his BKB, he now bought an MKB to, you know, add to the damage. We want to kill people very fast. Faceless Void having an Aghanim bought out, meaning the chrono lasts a lot longer, has a lower cooldown. Boing. Earthspirit making his way towards his Aghanim Scepter. Vengeful Spirit still trying to make his first item, man. It's gonna be the Ether Lens by the looks, but still not quite having it. Juggernaut has a Mantis style and 1500 gold. Beastmaster now going using his ultimate, spawning the Necro creeps, and Zeus is actually gonna get killed. Now Night Stalker trying to do something against this Beastmaster. Night Stalker dies, Beastmaster dies, Chrono gets used on Juggernaut. Sadly, Jyrocopter is caught in the Chrono, so he can't help attacking. Omni Slash gets used, and after Vengeful tries to swap his friend. Vengeful is the first one to die, and Juggernaut is in trouble, taking a lot of damage and finally dying. Double kill to the Gyrocopter. A lot of blocking there, man. So in the end, it's TongFu getting the better trade, killing both the Juggernaut and the offlane Beastmaster. We can see on the net worth, the Gyrocopter is leading right now, having this MKBs, and he's 2000 gold ready. So he's already building into quite a force. OD is being the second one, about 1000 below him, and then followed by Juggernaut, followed by Void and Zeus, who's both above Juggernaut and Beastmaster by more than 1000. 5-man smoke being used by TongFu. They should know this though, I mean using the Midas and stuff like that kinda indicates it. But maybe they didn't see it. Vengeful is definitely making his way down the lane, but he's not gonna be the target. Zeus using his ult to spot out the terrain. Beastmaster is the first one they go on. Cooldown gets used, slow and silenced by Night Stalker. OD trying to save his friend, and he's gonna make him able to blink away. However, Faceless Void goes in, blinks in, Chronos the OD. OD is slowly dropping low, and he might die. No, the Asphalt Imprisonment gets used, and the healing ward is gonna heal him up slowly. Now he's back up standing. Vengeful Spirit is dead. OD using his ultimate, killing the Night Stalker and the Faceless Void. Gyrocopter is very low. Zeus is being chased.
Radiant's middle tower
OD
under
does
attack.
pop his BKB, and it looks like they're gonna chase. No, Zeus manages to blink away. OD finding a haste rune, and I think he's actually just gonna go on the chase. But he goes the wrong way, sadly. Maybe he's gonna spot out Witch Doctor. He knows, he maybe knows. Tries to Glimmer Cave and TP out, but that's not gonna happen. And in the end, he's gonna get the cast bounces, man. And it's gonna be a Juggernaut finishing it off. OD too busy being stunned. And, you know, TongFu being ahead, but it's slowly making its way more and more towards Dagons' way, having this Outworld Devourer, who's very scary at this point. I mean, the only one who's kind of matching him is Jericho, and it seems like the one who initiates is the one who wins the fight between the two teams. Now having the amazing Flag Cannon, a double stun by the Earth Spirit. Flag Cannon does do a lot of damage, so you should definitely fear it. Roche being up in very soon. That is our time apparently. So that is the next objective.
I'll take that as tribute.
Nightstalker still hasn't managed to finish his Acronym Scepter, which is very much needed now. You can see these team fights starting, and you know, the vision game is definitely going to be very useful. TongFu spotting out the instantly when Roche respawns, which is very nice for them. Getting that easy peasy thing. Let's see if Dagon's gonna try and stop them from doing this. Roche is on 1/3 HP dropped. And, looks like Dagon is not really aware of this. Pushes the top wave, and they won't really be able to stop this. Juggernaut now buying a Skull Basher. Eidolon is finally being finished on Vengeful Spirit. Akin is being picked up by Earth Spirit. Beastmaster having Blast and Blink. Witch Doctor having the Glimmer Cave, trying to make his Aghanim Scepter. Nightstalker is getting very close towards his own Scepter finally. Faceless Void trying to buy a Hyperstone, which is most likely gonna be an Assault Crash one day. Jericho has 3000 gold, meaning, and having an Aegis, meaning he could buy at least some item. So try and be a little bit greedy. Zeus, well, hasn't decided what to buy yet, has 3000 gold, but might wait a little bit before deciding. Satanic recipe, so it looks like Jericho is actually gonna buy out a Satanic, having enough gold to do so. But I'm not sure if he wants to wait for because he wants to have buyback. But I mean, what is the buyback used for when he has Aegis? Especially because they do have some towers standing. Now using the Zeus ult to spot out this gank coming from Beastmaster and OD. So they won't let that happen. And OD and Beastmaster is gonna have to go away. OD himself having about 3000 gold. So he can buy an Assault Crash whenever he wants. He has a Hyperstone, but nope, he's actually gonna go for Moonshot. Look at how fast this guy hits, man. That's actually gonna spell trouble. If he doesn't get stunned by the Chrono, if he doesn't get chronoed, stunned by the Chrono, if he doesn't get stunned by the Void, this is gonna spell trouble, man. Jesus Christ, that's just a motorboat, man. Motorboat. Both teams being a little bit too calm about this, I feel like. I mean, the Aegis was just picked up, so you would imagine TongFu trying to push, but the lanes are so much pushed out towards them that you can see in the top lane they're trying to push out, in the bottom lane they're trying to push out. So it's very hard for them to actually mount an attack. I can also know pretty much where they are in the entire time. But that reveals the Arcanum has indeed been finished by Night Stalker, so the vision is definitely gonna be more useful for them now. And finally, they're gathering up the attack, being 5 people in the mid lane. You can see it's actually a Satanic completed being picked up. Faceless Void almost having a completed Assault Crash, so some pretty big money items being picked up here and ready for the push. Jacob now having 2.3k 3k HP, and the Satanic effect meaning that he's pretty hard to kill, and you have to kill him twice for that matter. While this is kind of a slow push, Earth Spirit is pushing the bottom wave. Top wave is getting pushed by Juggernaut. Having these Manta illusion does prove pretty useful to at least counter push them. The middle tower finally goes down, but at what cost? I mean, they actually TP to the bottom lane with Zeus. Seems pretty unneeded, especially because the top lane is the one that's in trouble, which is where Witch Doctor has TP to. So they're gonna have to give up this push attempt in the middle lane. They took the tower, but they almost lost 2 tier 2s to get it. So I'm not sure if it was really worth it. And the Aegis is, well, you know, dropping pretty low. Denied the top tower, so it was indeed a tower for a tower. Obviously the gold got denied, but a tower for a tower is still a thing, man. Juggernaut now picking up a Blessed Orb and an Orb of Venom, so he's gonna be making his way towards a Skadi, slowing some attacks because stuff is definitely pretty good against Gyrocopter, and obviously makes him a lot more tanky so he doesn't just get squeezed. An interesting ultimate pop by Night Stalker. I'm not sure if it's reactional, but looks like he's going on some kind of chase. You can see he's actually going very carefully, taking it step by step, trying to see if he can find someone. But Dagon heeded the warning of the ultimate pop and is kind of sitting in the base waiting, having a little bit of pushing going on in the top lane, de-warding themselves. Oh, they actually thought this was a real one. They'll do some fancy Earth Spirit uses, using all his spells and two stones to kill a fancy illusion, sadly. Faceless Void now finishing his Assault Crest. Aegis ran out, Sheep being picked up by Zeus, and a Void Talisman on Gyro, so we're gonna see some pretty heavy late game items right now. Juggernaut now finishing his Skadi. Outworld Devourer has 2k gold, so he could be maybe just looking into another item and then use the Moonshot, but it's probably gonna be a while until that happens. Maybe even replace the drums with a little bit bigger item. Might be more sensible to do that. Beastmaster himself trying to get Assault Crest, having a plate mill now. So all of the heroes in both teams having quite a lot of items. Despite Gyrocopter being head, soon having a finished Butterfly. I mean, I'm not sure. Well, Butterfly is actually gonna be very useful. Outworld Devourer you don't really want to buy a MKB on this hero. It's a little bit of a weird item to buy. And now forced to they actually 3 people top to defend this lane. And the rest is CPing deeper into the base. Now they have 5 people top defending. So both teams being very careful about what they're doing. But as we can see, So far, Dagon is actually ahead in terms of, you know, taking objectives, whereas TongFu is still being steadily ahead in terms of net worth. Finally, we have Dagon going for their own 5-man smoke, knowing that Roche is gonna respawn kinda soon. Well, they don't really know. It's one of the earlier Roche respawns, 2.5 minutes to go. And they kind of want to find something. They know so someone is here. They find Jarkov. The Jarkov reacts with his BKB. A good initiation from Faceless Void, catching 3 people with his Chrono. Deathward getting used as well. 2 people already getting killed on the side of Dagger and Juggernaut and Beastmaster. Outworld Divider trying so much to kill people, but he drops down. Doesn't even manage to kill one single person without that motorboat attack speed. And it's gonna be a full team wipe. Gyrocopter doing so much damage with this flag cannon, and with the help of the amazing Chrono from Faceless Void. The good Death Rod from Witch Doctor now having pretty much a completed Acronym Scepter. This is spelling like trouble. I mean, they just have so much teamfight potential, especially when the Faceless Void lands an amazing Chrono like that. It's just nothing that Dragons can do against it. Zeus obviously also doing a lot of damage from the side, just popping his ultimate and using spells freely in the Chrono.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And a 5-man wipe is now turning into a push towards the middle lane. Both lanes are decently pushed out, so they can't really do anything. I'm not sure if how the buybacks are looking. There's buybacks available on OD, Jug, and Beastmaster, but it seems like they know they can't defend this, so at least not if they don't have the full force ready. So they don't bother using buybacks. They realize, okay, we have to let them take this, because even if we buy back, we're not gonna get anything from it, so we don't want to waste the buyback. And towers got taken, man. Towers and racks. Now having completed Butterfly, completed Acronym Scepter, Nice Dog are picking up a BKB. Faceless Void also very close to his own BKB, so this is a lot of core items, like 1 core item on each single hero, and TongFu pretty much being bored from the last fight to this one. So it might be too late for Dagon to do anything. I mean, that's a lot of items suddenly finishing up. And you can see heroes like Vengeful, he's still sitting on his first item. Earth Spirit does have 2 items, but it's nothing amazing. I mean, Beastmaster has a couple, but if we look overall at TongFu, they're all pretty much making their way towards being 6 slotted. So, very hard to deal with. You can see the net worth is just going completely crazy. 7,000 net worth lead on the Gyrocopter compared to the highest on Dagon, which is the OD. Faceless Void being ahead of him as well. So they casually find a vengeful kill, and you know, we'll take him. Roches just respawned, they spot this out, and they should beeline towards taking the Roche now. Roche now taking was the 3rd Roche, so there's a cheese to add to the mix, which was picked up by Zeus. So, well, that's pretty much his whole health, actually more than he has full health, so I guess that could count as some pseudo life. Definitely gonna be troublesome. They're so far ahead, now they're gonna make their way to pushing the bottom lane. There's a tier 2 in the way. They have taken the middle racks already, and having Aegis complete and stuff, this is probably going to be them looking towards finishing off the game. Tier 2 gets claimed, Dagon trying to make their own little push in the top lane, but I mean, this Beastmaster is kind of hesitating using his Necro. I think it's because he kind of realizes that they need every single thing they can get to defend. Witch Doctor and Zeus actually is the two heroes that TP back. Gyrocopter faces Void making their way back as well. So I guess they wanted to take a tier 2, wants to defend the lane, doesn't want to let Dagon take any important buildings, and now they've pushed the top lane. There's a tier 2 more there, they do have a lot of time with the Aegis. So being very careful in what decisions they're making, being very, very cautious, not being overly aggressive in any way. Nice Stalker spotting out the amazingness of OD, knowing he's there. Jericho now picking up a double damage, that's gonna add to the Bushman. It's gonna be spooky. And now, you know, bottom lane is so pushed in that it's kinda hard for them to do anything about this. Middle lane is pushed in, they have to push this back, so this is probably pretty much just gonna be a free tier 2. It's gonna get taken, they do have 45 ready, but they wanna use that for the racks. It's now down. And no more tier 2s to stand in their way, so TongFu is gonna make it towards the high ground. Killing the little bird. Rip. Jacob is just gonna casually go onto the high ground and start mowing down the tower.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
No one is really even trying to initiate on. They're not fortifying. The tower's almost down. 300 health left, and he was just, you know, standing there hitting it. His team was far, far away. The thing is that they can stand this far away because the second anything is needed, this Faceless Void can just blink in, use this chrono. Nice.
Under attack.
Okay, Force Off gets used, Jericho gets stoned up, but nothing more will happen. It's very hard to go on him. The tower's now down, he's starting to hit the racks.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Rax does get taken. The bottom line is also pushing him pretty heavily, but it's not really gonna do much. Almost losing the last line of Rax, trying to stun up the Jericho. That good stun gets used by the Earth Spirit. This might be the go time, but not really. Satanic doesn't get popped either. He's not a greedy player. He's very patient with his spells, and you know. The top racks got taken pretty much freely. There wasn't really any mounted of defense. Now using a chrono defensively, this Faceless Void is pretty scared of this Juggernaut initiating on him. And they're trying to chase this guy down. He has his time warp ready, so he's pretty much just gonna jump over the cliff and be safe. Not gonna get punished. I mean, he did use the chrono, but it's only 40 seconds more on cooldown, so he's still gonna be ready for the next fight. Zeus actually being caught off guard here right now, and he's gonna get killed very quickly. Outworld Devour still doing a lot of damage when he can actually manage to hit people. Aegis is still up, it just gets reclaimed now. 6,000 gold on Jericho, so he can he probably won't go full YOLO with something like a Rapier, but he can definitely buy another item. Maybe finally buying that Sanchin Yasha that he has forsaken so far.
I'll take that as tribute.
Solar Crest on Night Stalker. Witch Doctor having a Blink Dagger, so he can also initiate a little bit easier Hex on Zeus. So, you know, even though Zeus just got picked off, they're still very far ahead, they're still very strong, they're looking powerful. 25k net worth lead. It's so goddamn much, it's silly. I mean, I actually don't think it's possible to do anything. We have the Crystals is being bought on Gyrocopter, so he's just gonna be like, okay, get damage. Won't buy out the complete thing. He would have enough for buyback though, but we'll only buy the Crystallises by the looks. Vladimir also being picked up by Night Stalker, so Faces Boy can get rid of his own when if the time should come, but I don't think Dagon has what it takes to stop this force. Rishik actually come in from the back, they smoked it round. Vengeful Spirit goes in, Omni Slash gets used by Gyrocopter, Earth Spirit being the first one to fall. A very defensive Chrono being used, and the bounces start happening. Ultimate by that Witch Doctor killing off two people, but Beastmaster and Visage will Visage, what am I saying? Vengeful Spirit will die. Outworld Divide dropping very low, he's gonna get rocketed and they're all around him, he's gonna die for sure. Gets killed, Juggernaut last man standing, last racks in the way, 5 man still up on TongFu. This is spelling out the GG, man. Dagon seemingly being very persistent, not calling GG, but finally it gets called. GG well played, TongFu taking game 1 in this best of 2 series. I mean, it was a lot of back and forth fighting, but TongFu just throughout the mid game, just getting ahead bit by bit, and in the end, Jericho was just too much of a force to deal with. So that's it for now, man. Let's take it to game 2.
The beast. So no buyback coming in.
he can save people. So what else would you want, right? It also safeguards you against a lot of the current meta heroes, since, for example, a hero that is often picked, Bat Rider, Vengeful Spirit pretty much completely
10
counters him,
seconds
since
remaining.
his swap cancels the ultimate.
5 seconds remaining.
Bind Dragon is now continuing with
Reserve
their
time.
road of banning heroes that was played last game. Night Stalker being the second of those two heroes being played, also being played very well in a supportive position. And well, after he managed to get his acronyms, it was pretty much impossible for Bind Dragons to do anything useful
Dire
against them.
team ban.
TongFu banning the Earth Spirit. The Earth Spirit did do quite a lot last game. It just, but was pretty much an all around reason that they didn't manage to do enough.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Slada.
Radiant team pick.
Slaughter now being picked up by TongFu North America. So they're swapping it up a little bit. Also some D-Armor Gaming coming out from this hero. A very tanky hero as well. Gyrocopter being banned. Nature's Prophet being banned by Bind Dragons. So still
Dire team
denying
pick.
very heavily towards the off lane. Now they pick up the Bat Rider themselves. As I said, Vengeful is considered a counter to Bat Rider, but hey, it's on your own team, so that's fine. You can pick it up now. Bat Rider is also very, very amazing against TA to say the least. It has so many different burn effects. There's a Firefly, there's the ultimate, there's the Flame
10
Break.
seconds
I mean,
remaining.
the shield from Temple Assassin is just gonna melt like nothing.
5 seconds
Obviously, the
remaining.
Bat Rider can use his Flame Break to disrupt the Bane using his ultimate as well. So
Reserve
a
time.
lot of good ways to stop both heroes. Very aggressive, very powerful against TA. Can stop Bane from a very far distance. So all around a very powerful hero to pick up.
Ban.
Lena being picked up by Bind Dragons. So a support with potentially a lot of damage being used from this ultimate of Lena's. Obviously some stun power and stuff like that. Juggernaut being
10
picked up by
seconds remaining.
TongFu. So denying a lot of this magic damage
5
coming out from
seconds
Bind
remaining.
Dragons in three of their heroes, Invoker, Bad Rider, Lena. Obviously Vengeful also pretty much mainly doing
Reserve
magic
time.
damage. So Juggernaut is gonna be pretty decent in the very early game, denying a lot of that
Radiant
damage.
team ban.
And Juggernaut is also one of the heroes that can deal with Bat Rider to an extent in the offline. You know, he can remove the sticky napalm charges if it gets too much. If Bat Rider gets close with the
Radiant team
Firefly, he
pick.
can use spin. And, you know, that is the way that Bat Rider kills people in the offline position. So there's pretty much no way that Bat Rider is going to get Juggernaut killed unless he messes up. And TongFu also picking up an Abaddon. This is purely because of the Bat Rider. Because, I mean, Abaddon obviously is a pretty decent support, has heal, has armor and stuff. It is an initiating hero. It can tank a lot of the damage, but mainly I would say it's because the shield takes away the stun of Bat Rider. That is the main reason I can imagine, which is why it's picked. It obviously can also do the same thing with Vengeful Stun. So, yep. Bind Dragons, what am I saying? Bind Dagons will now finish their lineup with a Slog. Slog being, you know, one of those annoying heroes. If he gets a good start, he can be very aggressive in the mid game, having something like a Blink or a Shadow Blade to assist him, getting a lot of kills, and a slug that's fat in the late game is
Prepare for battle.
disgusting to deal with, to say the least. He's also a hero that can actually abuse Abaddon very, very much, since, I mean, even though Abaddon pops his ultimate, Slug, from time to time, Slug will pretty much just keep hitting him because he will get Essence Shift stacks. So yeah, it does heal him, but I mean, the stacks from Essence Shift he gets is usually worth a lot more than just the health of Abaddon, especially because the Abaddon's health is gonna drop rapidly straight after.
With gratitude.
With gratitude. So the game is now starting once again. And let's see if we have anything fancy. Smoke is on the Vengeful Spirits. Potentially we could see something happening in the bottom lane. However, Bad Rider is making his way to the top lane, having boots as his first item. And the full force of TongFu seemingly is in the bottom lane. Slaughter being a little bit slow in the move. They now spotted the slug, and seems like
30 seconds to
the
battle.
tier is on Dagon and it's just gonna, you know, avoid this fight. Makes a lot of sense, obviously. 20 seconds to go, and it looks like we're just in a position where it's gonna be swapping the runes. Invoke already being in the top lane position. In the bottom lane, we have TongFu having 4 people defending the rune, and Juggernaut, you know, realizing that there's not gonna be any fighting happening, so he makes his way to the top lane and will be here in time for the wave to come.
Dotted gains.
Actually gonna block it from the start of the wave, so potentially getting a very good block off the bat.
Short-sighted of you.
Let's see, so, you know, some casual dual laning Abaddon slot on the off lane from TongFu's side. And at top lane we have Bane and Juggernaut being put against the Bat Rider. Middle lane we have Lena casually helping the Invoker to get some a good start. Bane should usually be there as well, but he's not right now. And it's kinda hard for the slug to get last hits in. He's doing a pretty decent job at it, but having 2 melees to be annoying against him is usually very annoying to deal with. But he's doing a decent job so far, having Pounce as the first level, so he can't get away. Stun gets used by Slaughter, the shield pops, This Vengeful Spirit now turning around with his own stun. Both heroes dropping pretty low, Slug being the one taking the most damage. And it's pretty much just what it is. Templar being very deep under the tower, trying to do damage to this Invoke in the middle lane. Lina rotating towards the bottom lane once again. Top lane, well, Juggernaut Bane, just having fun. Bad Rider seemingly stacking his camp right here, realizing that he's not exactly gonna get a lot done in the lane, since Bane is very annoying and is frustrating to deal with and can take quite a lot. He's now gonna try and actually go in the Bane, having a haste rune picked up, but he's gonna have to give up. Just makes his way back. Bottom lane, some more aggression happening from this dual lane Abaddon Slaughter. And Sal's being popped, tri-lane against dual lane, but Abaddon's very defensive here and Slaughter's very tanky, so definitely denying Slag a lot of farms. Slag is on 9 last hits, Juggernaut is on 13. Juggernaut also denying pretty much everything from Bad Rider. Bad Rider having a lot of struggle, being forced to stack this camp repeatedly for his own farm gain. But hey man, that's one way to get farm and he's gonna take it. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Just maybe flying a little bit too much above it so he takes so much damage, but oh well. It's that it didn't burn it enough, man. Just gonna put it defensively for both teams. Juggernaut obviously having the most fun with more or less of a free lane, since Bad Rider was going into the farm game of the jungle. TA leading over Invoker in the mid lane. Understandable. I mean, Invoker does have his Alacrity build, but Templar by heart still has more right click damage and therefore also gets easier denies / last hits. Top lane we have Bane rotating around, sleeping up the Bad Rider. A spin is gonna happen from the Juggernaut, but he actually spins and doesn't really follow him enough to actually hit him. Bad Rider being a little bit too fast. Bottom lane we get a first blood. Finally, the first kill of the game. Slaughter getting killed by Slug, and Abaddon also falling, coming from the rune and not really realizing what he's going into. Essence Shift definitely makes Slug a very hard opponent to be faced up against, because once you hit a couple of times, it starts to hurt quite a lot. Jesus, that's hurting. Okay, this Templar might be going a little bit too aggressive since Lina is here and Bad Rider is actually rotating from the top lane. Starting to slow him up, Sunstrike gets used, Sunstrike is gonna miss. But Bad Rider is persistent. But maybe a bit too persistent, won't get anything. Trap making sure that he gets slowed enough to not constantly stacking up the sticky napalm. And even though it's a good TP, that's out of futile. He's gonna go back, stack up more in the jungle. Seems like this is most of what his time has been used on, since as I was talking about, it's hard for him to do anything in lane. Juggernaut is there, and if he's not careful, Bane will just nightmare him, and they could potentially kill him. So just letting the minions come to him in the lane, and other than that, just taking the farm he can get in the jungle. This is pretty juicy. Templar starts popping his DD, going a little bit aggressive on the Invoker. Invoker uses his tornado to make sure he doesn't die right now. Badrider has made a very juicy stack, to say the least. Actually see Omnislash being used on from Juggernaut onto Badrider, almost killing him, but it's not going to be quite enough. And he has to get out with his spin. So Omnislash now in cooldown, not getting the first kill on that team, sadly. Bouncing off to the creeps, so rest in peace, that's what one would say. That could actually have been, if he realized that a bit earlier using his stun as well, that could have been horrible for the slug, but and Jesus man, it's very hard to deal with. I mean, overall looking at the table, TongFu is just winning the lanes. The off lane is winning, even though a few kills was had. The Slaughter has more, the same amount of last as a Slug, which is 36. Juggernaut almost doubling them. Templar a little bit ahead of Invoker. It's kind of even, but a little bit ahead. So more or less every single lane is being won right now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Juggernaut being kind of deep. Yeah, it does have spin ready, but oh, he wants to take the stack. Templar comes in to assist him as well. This is such a big stack to take, actually. Juggernaut is very low though, but he will take it. Oh, they take so much of it. Lina does secure quite a substantial amount of that stack, but they still denied enough of it to hurt.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Rest in peace, man. Badrider's hard-earned money is gonna get taken from him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Middle tower dropping fairly low. 45 gets used. Top tower is also, you know, taking a lot of chip damage. So overall, there's a lot of pushing being had by TongFu, and it's painful. Slaughter having his power threats up and running, so it's gonna be a blink dagger, which is the next item. I don't really know if he already bought it. Didn't. I was just gonna say with like he has a lot of lasts, so one would imagine he had a little bit more than that. But I guess he bought a bottle, so that explains. Now go a little bit aggressive on the Slug. Slug does have his ultimate ready, tries to pounce away, but gets blocked and ends up pouncing at the Slaughter. Uses his ultimate, gets away, but he used all his mana for this, so still pretty valuable, forcing him to pop all his mana for that. Middle tower is dropping very low. Templar Assassin is gonna claim it. Deny was attempted, but did not happen. I actually didn't even see top lane. Lina killing the Juggernaut for all reasons. That's interesting. Juggernaut being maybe a little bit too careless and ends up dying to the Lina using his ult. Wait, what? He didn't even have ult? That was interesting how he died then. Well, I'm not gonna, didn't see it, not gonna say too much about it because that was an interesting kill, probably shouldn't have happened. I guess it was Badrider using his ultimate now that I see that, so makes a little bit more sense using ultimate than into Lina, stun and slave. Bottom lane we have Slug trying to be very aggressive. He's dropping pretty low, but he might get a kill. Abaddon does fall after all. Now Lina's level 6, he has his ultimate, and Slaughter trying to juke around, but will get killed by Vengeful, almost killing the Lina. So 2 kills more to the side of Dagon. Now the net worth is gonna start evening out a little bit. Like I said, TongFu being ahead in terms of the laning, but obviously getting kills is also a part of the game, so surely helps Team Dagon to get back into the game. Slug picking up some drums as his first item. Slug is dropping pretty low. 16 HP left. Slaughter wants to keep going for this. Slug is forced to use that thing, and it will go into the trees, and it's probably gonna get out. There's nothing upset. That's a lot of damage with that level 4 Vengeful Stun. Slaughter is actually gonna go into the Sunstray and gets killed. Team effort, boys, man.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Badwater getting pretty close to his Blink Dagger, so that's gonna come into play very soon. Invoker having that Midas, so Midas on top of his Urn. I did say about getting an Urn, which is the obvious counter for him against Templar, very useful. Slog the drums, very soon done. Slaughter still making slowly his progress towards his Blink Dagger. Abaddon not really having anything, Bane nothing. Templar has nearly enough for Blink, I guess that's gonna be the first item for him. Wants to get some more initiation power. Juggernaut needs one more component for his Battle Fury. So it's going pretty nicely in terms of farm for both teams. Juggernaut has almost 100 last hits at 13 minutes, which is quite a lot. I mean, he has Bomber Shield, Face Boots, and only 1k gold left for his Battle Fury, so he's definitely going for the greedy farm game. And so far he's having every right to do so, since he's not really being contested in the top lane. Drums now being finished on Slog. I actually want to take a look at the net worth. Net worth wise, Templar and Juggernaut is ahead. Slog keeping pretty nicely up with the Juggernaut compared to Juggernaut having so many last hits. But and Invoker a little bit behind Templar. Templar obviously getting ancient stack, stuff like that. So and being a little bit ahead of him in the lane. Not really getting any kills though, so that's why Invoker is kind of keeping up with him, but not at all, really. Split back and forth, I suppose. Templar having pretty much a level advantage, one level in advantage compared to the Invoker, so doing a nice job, but Templar is hitting harder than the creeps. We actually have initiation, Badwater finishing off his Blink Dagger, goes in onto the Juggernaut. Juggernaut does get the spin off, but he doesn't manage to use his Omni Slash before he gets stunned by Vengeful Spirit, then stunned by Lena and killed by the Dragon Slave. So the Blink reveal will still lead into kills, and rotations from Abaddon, Slaughter and Bane going towards top lane. Sadly, they are too late to make anything happen. Slug now seeing as no one from TongFu is there to stop him, he's gonna try and take this tower, which will most likely succeed. You know, dropping low, getting a free tower, that's always nice. Top lane we have TongFu trying to push them, but this is pretty much 3 against 3, so the push might not really be the best thing for TongFu to do right now. The tower is low, but I'm not sure they can go through and take it. The bottom tower now got taken, so hey man. Jesus, that is actually some amazing Forge Spirits.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Look at those, man. Not so amazing also, but decent. Okay, pushing being had mid. Slug is here to help. TP coming in from Slaughter. Templar is around the side, having a Desolator completed. Bane uses ultimate on Slug, doesn't get to use the Death Pact, the Dark Pact, and will die straight away, getting burned down by the combo of Templar Assassin and Slaughter's amplified damage. Now the chase will continue. They see the Invoker, they find the Invoker, they kill the Invoker. And there's the whole force of TongFu in the middle lane, killing the 2 cores on Dagon. Very nicely done. They did lose the tower, but I mean, hey. Punishment has been had, and now they can actually go towards doing Roche. They have the Desolator, they have the Slaughter amplified damage. They cause it down, I mean, Slaughter is respawning very soon. But I doubt they're in any position to stop them from doing this. Look how fast it's dropping, I mean. We have Dagon being in a position that's not too far away from the Roche, but honestly, like, it is melting. So nothing's gonna happen. They're gonna claim the Roche. Templar now being 2 levels ahead of Invoker, having 1100 gold on top of the newly purchased Desolator. Very close towards getting his Blink Dagger. Slaughter has 100 gold to go for his Blink Dagger. Takes the farm priority in this lane for a little bit and completes his Blink Dagger. Juggernaut, having the battlefield, just enjoys his time in the jungle. Just having fun. Doesn't really care too much.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
Some
fortified.
casual tower trading, or at least an
Radiant's
attempt to.
bottom tower is under
Invoker
attack.
pushing the top tower, Templar taking the bottom tower.
Radiant's bottom
Mid
tower
tower is
is
also getting
fallen.
pretty low, but
Dire's
Abner
top
is trying to
tower has
defend
fallen.
it. So trading towers mostly. We're now 18 minutes in the game. We still have the Aegis on Templar Assassin, so he's probably going to be looking towards using it. Now finishing his own Blink Dagger. So the big money items is definitely completed on TongFu, having the 2 Blink Daggers on the team, having Battlefield and Juggernaut. So they do have the core items, man. Rogue actually buying some travel boots as his first bigger item. Maybe realizing that the early game is not really gonna happen, so goes for more of a, you know, split push lineup build stuff. Vengeful Spirit finishing his medallion, Lena trying to finish his evil scepter, very close to it. Slark has his drums and now looking towards buying a Yasha, which he can pretty much buy out any time. So not going for some fancy blink or Shadowblade build, just going straight away into the damage. Badwater having the blink from earlier, and now he has a Staff of Wizardry, trying to make his 4 staff on top of the blink as quick as possible. Alright, game time once again, boys. Ladies and gentlemen. Reminding that we still have the Templar with his Aegis up and running. He's actually trying to go pretty deep with this Lena, but a little bit too deep, and he does realize that himself. Doesn't want to commit for that, man. Two shot in the creep wave. I always love watching that. Okay, some more issues to be had, sadly. But that is what happens, man. really taking its time. The game shall go on, boys.
Radiant's bottom tower
So
is under
TA
attack.
trying to make a very hardcore push in the bottom lane. Aegis is still up, so he doesn't very much want to use it. Dagon is not really gonna move into any position to stop them. It looks like the haste one with the slaughter is actually gonna find Lina. Uses his ultimate and instantly gonna pop him. Pop, pop, poppity, pop, pop, just dead, man. Doesn't have any chance to survive. He will just get destroyed. Now they go for a smoke up on 3, Abaddon, Bane, and Slaughter. Slaughter still has the leftovers of his haste. Will make its way to the top lane, but Slark is already making his escape after taking the tier 2 in the top lane actually. So ended up being a tower trade. However, there's still the kill on Lina. 4 staff completed on Bat Rider, Lina finishing his Evil Scepter, Invoker also having an Evil Scepter, so there's 2 Evil Scepters on the team of Dagon. This is quite a lot of core items that just suddenly finished up, so maybe they will be looking towards fighting once again after the Aegis rod expires on Templar Assassin. They do at least have some more tools to play with, that's for sure. The pinging is happening. There's still a tier 1 and a tier 2 in the top lane. And honestly, having the Aegis, I guess TongFu is being pretty greedy and goes for both. 45-1 gets used. Templar's in a pretty aggressive position. The whole of TongFu is ready. Templar gets picked back, but the Abaddon instantly using the shield to stop the Bat Rider's ultimate. Chaos Meteor getting used to stop the Templar Assassin. Slaughter going and gets healed up. Abaddon is just gonna move back and forward. Templar almost dying, very close to dying. Bane using his ultimate just after the Dark Pack ran out. Slark dying. Templar Assassin's Aegis gets popped finally, but it was pretty much at the expiration date anyways. So I mean, I'm not really sure this is worth it. Trying to slow them, trying to do some more damage. A stun gets used, doesn't really hit. The stacking shall continue. They might be looking to be aggressive, but Abaddon's shield taking away the sticky napalm charges, which is the annoying part of the hero against Bat Rider. He can take away all the pain, all the suffering. Now they're looking towards the tier 2. Juggernaut taking quite a lot of damage, but he gets healed up. Tower's on half health, healing ward is popped, and even though Bad Rat is flaming the ground all over where he walks, it looks like this tower is gonna drop no matter what they do. A lot of damage coming from these long range uses of Flamebreak and Dragon Slave. 45 gets used, Slark is on the chase, almost catches Templar, Templar TP's away. It seems like Abaddon might be the target now. Pounce can be used, Juggernaut does spin, catching off the Slaughter, almost dying, and now he's gonna finally drop. Bad Rat is still alive. Juggernaut now uses Omni Slash, bounces off to the creeps. Sadly not gonna kill anyone. Eulcept also being used defensively. Abaddon gonna chase this Bad Rat. Another Eulcept that gets used, so Bad Rat is gonna stay alive. Templar plays onto him and finishes him off, but he's gonna lose his life for this. 4 people down on TongFu. Bane trying to TP out and he's gonna succeed. So not a full team wipe, but very close to it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Getting 3,000 gold towards the team of Dagon. Slark soon having finished his Sanjin Yasha.
Dire's bottom tower is
Lena
under
having an Aetherlance pretty much almost finished on top of this. His Arcane Boots Eulceptor. Vengeful having the Medallion. Invoker. Well, 2k gold, so you can pretty much buy a Blink Dagger, I can imagine, is what he will be looking for. Bad Rat doesn't have anything special. Aetherlance on Bane. Slaughter soon finishing his 4-staff. Abaddon closing into a mech. Juggernaut, well, compared to having an amazing elite early on, he's not really having anything amazing right now. Has his Battle Fury and has an Ogre Club, which could be either Sanj or maybe a BKB. It's not too weird to build, because there's just so much magic damage on Dagon right now. Templar Assassin almost finishing his BKB. He needs a couple more creeps, and then he's gonna have it finished. So that's gonna help him very much in the next couple of team fights. Having this item up, he now purchases it and will send it. Vengeful getting caught up with by this Bane and Slaughter. Another kill shall be claimed. Slaughter doing so much damage once he uses amplified damage. Roche is gonna respawn in quite a long time. We can see it's one of the later Roche respawns. So even though they were very much wanted, they're gonna have to wait a long time to get it. Bad Rat now buying the energy booster, so Aetherlance is gonna be the item of choice for him as well. Lena almost finishing his own. And you know, Slark finishing the Sanjin Yasha on top of his drums and Aquila. So he's pretty tanky at this point. Doesn't have something fancy as a Shadow Blade, but he doesn't really seem to need it. Just going in and hitting people is enough. And obviously stats is very much needed against heavy hitters like Templar, Assassin, Juggernaut and Slaughter. Now we have a 4-man smoke happening from TongFu, going towards the jungle in the bottom lane. There's not really anyone there except for the Vengeful Spirit, who's still trying to regain his consciousness after dying a second ago. They're rotating a bit oddly, but they do finally spot him off, and Vengeful will die again. The last 2 deaths in a row has been happening both on Vengeful, so rest in peace. Lena now, not really sure what he's doing. He's being pretty aggressive. Bad Rat comes in, uses his ultimate on the Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin is forced to use his BKB. Long range use of Bane ultimate, but he gets healed up by the Lena. And now they're just gonna wait out the BKB time. The BKB is now dropped. Abaddon popping his ultimate. And well, they did lose the Vengeful Spirit, but they got the value of using the BKB charge and more or less forcing TongFu to not do anything useful. Slark thinking he found something fancy, turns out to be something not so fancy, as in illusions. Casual meteor to clear the way. 4,000 gold on this invoker. I mean, that's I guess he's still deciding which is more important right now. He could go for the Necronomicon to go for some full push. He could go for some Blink Dagger to add to his power and team fight. He could buy out an Aghanim Scepter if he wanted to, just to go full YOLO and full ham. There's a lot of different ways to go about doing this. It seems like he hasn't decided yet. Roche is now up. Templar Assassin and Slaughter is already making their move on it. There's a couple of heroes from Dagon here ready to do something perhaps. But it is dropping pretty fast. They do spot it out, but it's so low. It's gonna be too late for them to do anything. Battle moving into position for a potential snatch. But ain't gonna happen. And he actually blinks in very aggressively. Lina almost dying to the Templar Assassin. Now a little bit of push on with the flame bake onto Templar Assassin. Lina's gonna try and get away, but Slaughter comes in from the side, catches him, and he will die. Meanwhile, Slag in this little spot TPing out. TongFu making a full 5-man train towards the middle lane, not wanting to let Dagon split push them up once again, because hey, don't want to give them too much, especially because top lane is also being pushed, so they can't really push one lane themselves without losing some value. They now, instead of pushing bottom, which was already pushed out quite decently, they now push middle lane, where one of the two last tier 2s is standing. Top lane is pushing in, gonna do some chip damage to the tier 3 tower, but Juggernaut does TP back and ready to defend. This is probably the go-to signal for TongFu. Abaddon losing quite a lot of mana, but Templar Assassin blinking back, so he's not gonna get affected by the EMP. Obviously Invoker is maxing his exhaust, so the EMP isn't really that scary. Cold Wall gets used, Lasso from the Bad Rider gets used, Slaughter being controlled a little bit. Invoker's side it dies though, to the Slaughter and the powerful Templar. Templar now kills off Vengeful Spirit. In the backline, Slug is trying to find heroes. The Slaughter is dead. Slaughter kinda wants to go for some more, but Omnislash Boy is here and he doesn't have his ultimate, so he doesn't want to go too greedy. And it looks like he's gonna get out with his life. Bad Rider kind of roaming around the top areas of the lane, trying to maybe do some damage to the creep wave, but he's gonna get away. He's just gonna walk away, otherwise he's gonna be in a world of trouble.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now the middle tier 2 is finally gonna drop.
Radiant's middle tower
You
has
know,
fallen.
still Ache is up. It's not gonna last too much longer, but enough to take a top push, I guess. Bad Rider now finishing his Aether Lens, so it's a little bit easier to do the ultimate snatches. But he's done a pretty good job at it so far. Abaddon only managing to stop him once from doing anything fancy. Invoker now having the Aghanim Scepter after all, realizing that he needs to be he needs to have more fighting capabilities, and Aghanim Scepter rotate around the spells a little bit more will definitely make him able to do a lot more in the team fights.
Regeneration.
So it's pretty deep, this Bad Rider's going. Maybe he's going hunting for something fancy. He's pretty deep. He's gonna get spotted up by the Abaddon anytime soon. Stark is getting jumped on. The long range use of Bane's ultimate means that he gets killed. Bad Rider does blink away to safety, so looked like Slag was somewhat a bait, but it got killed too fast for the Bad Rider and Slag to do anything. Will not kill anyone. And now TongFu gonna make their way deeper into the top lane, taking the last tier 2 standing. Templar having a finished Crystallis, still has Aegis up. It's not gonna last much longer, but might still come into use. We can see overall TongFu going to past 3,000 gold in net worth lead. So, like the last game, throughout the mid game, they just seem to be playing just a little bit better. Last tier 2 is down, and maybe they have the Aegis, so a high ground push is definitely in order. Dagon not really having anyone in position to defend this, being forced to TP back now. But even though they just TP'd back, the tower's already on half health. Now the Aegis just got reclaimed, and they will make the escape, blinking away and realizing that okay, just got popped. Get the hell out. We don't want to go deep without Aegis, man. At least not right now. Everyone having completed Vladimir on top of his mech, so he's pretty spooky for support. Juggernaut having his BKB after all and a blink dagger, so some kind of pseudo utility Juggernaut with a lot of magic damage immunity. We have a fireman smoke up from Dagon, trying to show the fighting spirit, waiting in the middle lane position for TongFu to do anything. However, TongFu themselves look to be smoking, so Dagon is not gonna find anything. But they abort mission smoke since both the mid lane and the bottom lane is being pushed in, so you know, it would be a little bit too obvious if they went for the smoke there. Going somewhat a warding mission in the jungle.
Invisibility.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's pretty interesting how passively both teams seem to be playing throughout these two games. I mean, there's been a lot of times where both teams could very much easily push each other, but it's just been playing passively. Lina now being caught out, Blink Dagger be used on from Slaughter, and now Heal Center will be used, so Lina's not gonna die straight away. Bad Rider tries to drag the Juggernaut down to this cliff. Not drag him far enough, Juggernaut will just spin and then get away. Lina dying. Still 2.5 minutes before Roche is gonna respawn. Lina now being dead, so seems like TongFu is mustering strength to push more towers. Oh, it's bad, right? I'm not sure. Well, that was just a flame to plant this fire sea arena. Juggernaut, future telling man, knowing that the tornado and the flamethrower is gonna happen, starts spinning previously and will not get hit by it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Tower finally gets killed, and Templar is just mowing down the melee racks, half health, dropping fairly low. 45 gets used, but he's shielded. He has his BKB if need be. And, 45 drops down, swap gets used. Quickly saving that Omni Slash boy, using his BKB so he doesn't die to the Bad Rider, using his ultimate. Lina and Vengeful dying. Bane has his ult, but I'm not really sure you saw it on. Bad Rider now dying. Slaughter is so deep. Pretty good cosmetic blast, pushing back for 3 people. Ult dropping pretty low, the healing ward keeping them alive. Bad Rider buys back into the game, and both racks in the bottom lane is now taken from Dagon, and TongFu is gonna take the victory and back up. Seeing as Roche is gonna respawn in 1 minute, so might not be that greedy. That's a interesting blink. A lot of pinging onto that Slaughter. I'm not sure if he's calling him a noob or what's happening. Templar's definitely calling him a noob. Look at all those items. Mask of Madness and Juggernaut to add in the power of the ultimate, movement speed, stuff like that. Templar Assassin, he has his Daedalus, 4000 gold banked up. Bane having a Blink Dagger, like a position 5 with a Blink Dagger, boys. Abaddon having completed Guardian Greaves. Slaughter having his BKB. These Bad Riders playing with these fools. Finally, Slag has a Manta style. He demolishes Sanj and Yasha into Sanj and Yasha, and bought a Manta style, and now has a Shadowblade in his stash, and potentially wants to make a Silver's Edge against Abaddon, against Templar Assassin, against Juggernaut, against Slaughter. All of them have passives that's useful to have this against, so it makes sense. Lina, 500 gold left before he gets his Aghanim Scepter. Vengeful Spirit still not really having any more items since earlier in the game. Invoker, 3k gold banked up, on top of buying a Blink Dagger recently. Jesus, that down fast. Well, the power of these heroes, man, they kill Roche that fast. And I'm fairly sure this was the cheese Roche, so Juggernaut having a cheese. Now they kill Bad Rider in the middle lane, catching him off guard. He used his buyback earlier, remember, the only person on the team using the buyback, so that's the worst person to die. 60 seconds on the sideline. And they have no fortify on the side of Dagon, so this is gonna be a tower that's gonna go very fast. Tower's down, and hey man, let the racks fall. Invoker trying to use some spells to intercept this. Bane using his ultimate onto Invoker, gets healed up, so not gonna let that happen. Slag goes in, hits quite a lot of damage. Dragonslave also doing quite a lot of damage. Omnislash gets used onto the Lina and completely kills him all alone. Vengeful Spirit using the stun on Templar Assassin, and BKBs get popped on Slaughter. They go a little bit deep. Vengeful Spirit is actually getting slapped up, dropping very low, gets killed. Slag is in between the enemies, pops his Silver's Edge so he can walk in and survive. Tries to keep him delayed, but this time he gets stunned by the Slaughter and gets killed. Bad Rider is now back, tries to drag someone into the base, will drag in the Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin Aegis will pop. However, it's very. He actually buys a Ghost Scepter because he realizes that he's not gonna be having fun in this fountain. But even though the efforts of buying a Ghost Scepter, he will still die. Middle racks did get dropped in the meantime. Now Invoker is trying to chase as much as he can, but this chase might not be what he wants because now he's gonna get killed for it. Yep, indeed, he will die. Now the chase more, sleeping up the Bad Rider and going pretty deep on him. Bad Rider is dropping fairly low, half health. Slaughter is actually gonna get killed by Lina. Swap on the Bad Rider, keeping him safe for the time being. Now Bad Rider is looking to chase. Glimmer Cape gets used on the Bane, and Blink is up, Gem is up. He's just gonna walk away. Some good stuff happening from Dagon, but they have already lost 2 sets of racks. So even though TongFu losing some heroes, being a little bit greedy, being a little bit sloppy perhaps, it's still not enough to say that it's anywhere near a comeback. Obviously Templar was forced to buy a Ghost Scepter because he tried to survive. Not exactly the item you might want. He's probably gonna keep it just because it gives good stats on there. It does have a few uses this game, but very few. Very few. Cheese is still up on the Juggernaut, so possibly just gonna pass it over to the Templar and try and go for another push. Not gonna wait too long. Get wrecked, bro. Gets slayed in the base. Some trolling happening to the teammates. Good to see that TongFu is having fun with each other. Smoke being bought, and it looks like another Davai Suka smoke. So a 5-man smoke is definitely gonna be the thing that TongFu is gonna do once again. Having everyone gathered in the middle lane. Juggernaut has his own life. 4-man smoke actually. Juggernaut doesn't really know what he's doing. Having the moonshot on replaced instead of the Mask of Madness, so he doesn't take as much damage. They see him. Slaughter spots out the Vengeful Spirit once again, getting popped. That's a lot of fucking damage. Notice all being bought by Bat Rider, but I mean, Jesus. This is now, they have one set of racks left standing. Vengeful now getting killed. And I mean, let's see, the net worth is at 15,000, so it's scary. There's Fortified ready. Healing Ward gets popped, Spin gets used in case someone tries to do some fancy plays. Drag back on the Templar Assassin. Templar's actually dropping very low. Slark doing quite a lot of damage to this Templar. He's going for it, he's going deep. Ghost Scepter is doing its work, man. Obviously the most valuable item he could buy. And you know, spells are back up, using the shield on him. He has his refraction up, so the Ghost Scepter is gonna make sure he stays alive for a little bit longer. Pulse gets used. It seems like Slaughter dropped out of the game. Interesting time. And this is the last hold for Dagon. Are they gonna hold or are they gonna lose? Slaughter going pretty deep. Slaughter reversing the attack using a Shadow Blade he recently bought. Trying to find some fancy initiation. A lot of damage coming out from this Invoker. Slaughter finally dies. Slaughter will also die. Lina having to use the ultimate for that though. Cosmetic Blood is hitting all 4. Templar Assassin is very much in trouble now in the cold wall and stuff. And now the chase is gonna begin. Evan doesn't have his ultimate anymore, so 3 people down so far. And Invoker, he's running. He's gonna hit the tornado, and Bane should be dead for this. That's obviously the Glimmer Keep. He very quickly uses his Evil Scepter, making sure that Bane is not gonna go anywhere. And now they will take the gem and the 4th kill. 4 for 2, I believe it was. The Vengeful Spirit and Slark dying. I mean, the lanes are pushing quite fast in the bottom lane, but after taking this convincing win, they kind of need to make something happen. I mean, there's still tier 2 standing in the middle lane. They need to make some push happening. Maybe even go for YOLO push at this point. Tier 2 gets claimed, and they will keep on.
Dire's middle tower
Not sure what the
is
start
under
was
attack.
about, but interesting. Looks like they're just gonna back up, take the small one they got. They took a tier 2, and looking at Roche, but Roche is first up in a couple of minutes, so that's sadly not gonna be a thing they can claim. A lot of ping happening on the Roche pit. I mean, the Roche is not up yet, but they know that this is the next objective that both teams will be looking for taking. So not gonna let Dagon get that from them. Pretty huge net worth swing, going from about 20,000 now down to 10k. So Dagon, I mean, it is a comeback. I'm not gonna say they won yet. They still have only one set of racks left standing, whereas TongFu has all the racks left standing and a tier 2. But if anything is a comeback, it's very close to one. They just need 1 to 2 more teamfights won, and then they can do it. 5-man gathered up from TongFu, possibly gonna use the smoke, but nope, they're just gonna push the wave. It's gonna be quite a long time before Roche actually respawns. There's a lot of time to push the waves. Roche, 1.5 minutes to
Tribute
go.
to my house.
Bad Runner, you know, fishing a little bit, trying to get someone. He finds an Abaddon, but that's not really the most juicy target. They're kind of sitting positions once again, trying to see what the situation is at the Roche pit, and backing off. Dagger not wanting to initiate just yet. A lot of lanes being pushed in by Dagon. I mean, they're doing quite a good job in keeping the lanes pushed in comparison to having 2 sets of racks down. So obviously the bigger creeps is making it very hard for them to do this. A catch out actually on Slug. Slug getting caught out by TongFu, trying to farm the camps, but that's not gonna happen. Bad Rider trying to escape now. Roche is up very soon, 30 seconds to go. They have the Templar trap there, so they're gonna spot it out. But it looks like they're just gonna try and make a push forward because Slark is down. At least force the buyback, but no, buyback is available. Slark just being 300 gold short of the buyback. It's very much a shame, and this could cost them the last bit of the game. Dagon doing a very good job at trying to come back to the game. But let's see. Fortify gets used, still 30 seconds on the sideline. And now Fortify is gone. Lasso gets used, but Abaddon's quick on his fingers using the shield. And the last set of racks is now gone. Roche is up, they have a trap that they can see it, so I think they're just gonna try and back up. But no, they go in. Going in, going deep. Battle Rider dying, Invoker dying, both dying straight away. Omnislash gets used to kill the Vengeful Spirit. Some decent combos by the Invoker, but in the end, man, in the end, it is Mega Creeps, so Dagon will bow their heads in respect, and TongFu will take game 2, 2-0. So, some good games, boys. It's been me, Mad King's casting. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.